What's up, everybody? vmortega or Eagle One Actual, bringing you another episode of Royalty Camo Grind. Yeah, let's go back to my favorite hardcore weapon, the MK14 Eclipse. I'm using it with the sweet gold camo. Look at that, nice and shiny. And I'm using mobility-based attachments on it. Red dot, quick draw, and stock. And that's a pretty cool way of using it. You're pretty mobile. But the perks I'm using is stealth base, which is low profile, cold-blooded, and blind eye, and hardwired. So it's a pretty different. You know, you have the mobility aspect with your weapon, but at the same time you're a little stealthy. So it's a nice combination with this weapon. Check this out right here. I didn't hear that there was a grenade thrown next to me, and I started laughing because I didn't realize it. But yeah, you're gonna see me rush around and instead of just hanging back, I'm being aggressive and going around and taking the objective with this weapon, which is pretty cool. I kind of like it, and you're gonna see me right here. I was trying to I'm trying to get as many headshots as possible. So there's a few instances where I could have just went ahead and just pulled the trigger, but I'm trying to aim high, and I end up dying in the process, or I end up missing the kill. And but I did pretty well nonetheless. I mean, it's a pretty cool game also, because I was moving around. I died a couple of times, but I was able to get a couple of headshots and get me that much closer to completing the headshot challenge, which is I remember it being the last challenges to complete. So in order for me to get the diamond and then ultimately get that royalty camo. And you can see me right here. I am hanging around the Charlie C flag, but I died, and I'm going around, and I'm going to try to go back over there so I can capture it. So yeah, very aggressive, and just rushing with a weapon that is normally a very immobile weapon. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. See, the MK14 is one of those weapons that it's a pretty interesting weapon, you know, and it's a classic CoD weapon in my opinion. You know, I think almost every, besides Black Ops 2, I think there's some kind of version of it on every CoD game. So it's pretty cool. And it's one of those weapons that in real life, you know, if you were able to hold the MK14 or the M14, the original M14, it's a very intimidating weapon. It's one of the weapons that I've held many in the past, and it's one of those weapons that you know, while I was holding it, it's pretty scary. It's heavy to begin with. It's I think it's about 20 pounds. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, the stock and the how long it is. It's a pretty intimidating weapon, and it's a weapon that, you know, you hold it and you can tell it's an implement of war, and it's an instrument of death when you're holding it. You know, the way the box magazine, the way you cock it, you know, and the way it sounds, it's just, I remember it, you know, I mean, holding it, you know, with no round in the chamber or anything like that, and you pull the trigger and the click, I was like, oh my god. You know, I can only imagine getting hit with one of these things. It's just pretty scary. And I think in the 80s, living in the Philippines, I seen this weapon in action in real life, and it's a pretty it's pretty scary. I mean, the way the recoil is, I can imagine people pulling the trigger and going full auto, because the original M14 has full auto feature besides the semi, but you can't handle it. You can't handle it full auto. You gotta go. But I watched soldiers go full rock and roll with it, and you can see their head just getting jarred, and you can see them just trying to struggle holding it, trying to manage the recoil. And I seen it in action. I remember in the 80s, in the government, the military was not very happy with the government, so there was a few attempts to take over the government. So there was a coup d'etat, a couple of them, and one of them being, I don't remember if it was a regiment or a battalion, but I remember a colonel led the rebellion. What they did was they took over a radio station. So they went there, and I guess to say their demands about the government, about how unhappy they are. So they held whoever hostage there. So what they did, you know, it's a regiment of a lot of people. So they stationed some snipers, and the radio station has obviously a large antenna. So they stationed one sniper up there, and he was watching a T intersection, and so he held a whole platoon of government soldiers because they were trying to storm. So he just got him pinned down for a while, and so the soldiers were just trying to find cover. And it just so happens that there's some reporters there. I don't remember if it was Australian. It's a foreign journalist. So he had a camera on him, and he was there, and I guess his body was just out a little bit, and you hear a shot, and all of a sudden, look, this guy was moving. All of a sudden, he looked like he tripped, but in reality, he fell because he got shot, and he didn't get up. And they picked him up. You can see him. There was a lot of blood on him, and they took him to the hospital. You know, it was a pretty grisly scene. You know, he's bloodied up. It looks like he was coughing up blood because he got shot in the chest. And by the time they got to the hospital, the guy was dead. And then going back to the sniper up there, you know, they finally got him. You know, they shot him a bunch of times. He was there for a while, and he held, I don't remember how many people he took out, but he took out a lot of people. But when they got him down, and he was holding an MK14. So yeah, it's a pretty scary weapon to and seeing it in action is pretty scary. But anyway, you know, it's an interesting weapon, and didn't mean to depress everybody with that story, but I think it's pretty interesting to share. And seeing it here, right here, it's kind of on advanced warfare. It, in my opinion, it doesn't really do it justice, because of how, in real life, how powerful this weapon is in real life. And in advanced warfare, you're like, you can barely use it. And on core modes, you gotta really do well with it. To do well with it, you gotta do it in hardcore. So yeah, it doesn't really do it justice, because in real life, it's a very, very formidable weapon. Look at me, look at that. Anyway, you're gonna see a lot of that, me jumping around and taking people out. But yeah, you know, a couple of times I was hesitating, like right here. See that? That's a bad aim on my part. But like I said, I was trying to get the headshots, and so when I'm trying to shoot people, I think right here I'm gonna rush into to Alpha there. I think there's a couple of people rushing. I mean, not rushing. Camping. And right here, watch. See, I'm coming up. There's a few there. Look at that guy. See, look. See, I stopped. And then I think there's one more guy right here, and I'm gonna see. Look at that. And somebody else took him out because I was trying to aim high, aim for his head, and I didn't get him, unfortunately. But anyway, and I hope you like this video. I'm gonna end this commentary right now. You're gonna see me get a couple more kills right here. Look at that, nice. Took out that sniper right there, and there's one more guy right here. I'm gonna rush in and pre-fire, and look at that. And I get taken out. Anyway, I'll end my commentary right here. Thank you for following this this series, by the way. This is it's been getting a lot of support as well, besides of all the other stuff I do in this channel. I really appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, please leave me a feedback or subscribe. Ooh. And thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Bye.
Securing Charlie. Enemy UAV online. Well fought, gents. I knew we hired you for a reason.